Hello
Welcome
there.
to the Aussie and Kiwi for Anzac's live feed for Wednesday night. So we're now 4 weeks into this social movement, and Anita and I are part of the admin team. Hi, Anita. Thank you for joining
Hi.
me tonight. So this is Anita's first time, so bear with her. And as you will see from our opening tonight, every time I get on here, I'm actually learning more and streamlining it because our intro worked tonight. So I apologize for it not working last night, but it did work tonight. So that's really cool. So
We're learning as we go along, aren't we?
every day, every time I come in here, I'm learning something new and being able to streamline it, which is great.
And I think every time I see it, it's starting to look better all the time. So we're getting there.
We are, and it's the same even with the group and the page. We're all sort of hitting our strides, and things that we dodgily did at the beginning, we're getting much better at now. And that's the way it works. And in 2 weeks' time, it is Anzac Day, which is
isn't it? It's 9 days or something now, isn't it?
Something.
The day's getting away from us, I think.
Today's the 15th, so it's 10 days.
10 days.
10 days, or if we can, it's late at night, or not late at night, but it's afternoon now, and that's going to be like crack of dawn. So yeah,
well, the last 4 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks have just been an absolute whirlwind for us. So the time's gone so fast for me, but it's been a blessing as well. It's kept me very extremely busy. Yeah, have you seen that we've dealt with 2.4 million posts in the last 3.5 weeks or something? So they're keeping us on our toes, that's for sure.
It is crazy, isn't it? And we're fast approaching 210,000 followers on the group, which is just amazing. And
I think we'll hit that tonight, actually, where this close. Yeah.
I think so too, but we've now got the group, we've got events, we've got the page, we've got YouTube, we're on Instagram and Twitter. And so all that has happened in the last couple of weeks. Now, we want people to like our page.
We do.
Yep. Follow the group. And I do have some, where are they? Let me get those up. We
want them also to jump on the event and click that they're following the event as well. So that gives us an indication of
kind of like RSVP to the event. Yeah. So there's the link for the page. That one. There's the link for the page. Okay. So and if you just type in Aussies for Kiwis for Aussies and Kiwis for Anzacs, you will find the page. The page has that logo as our profile pic, and the group has a slightly different one, but it has the same name. From the page, that's where you will find the event. Okay, so when you go to the page, you just click on events across the top, and you can say that you're going to any of the events. So that is great. Now, now what sort of things are we seeing on the page or on the group?
On the group, people are sharing their personal stories, their history. They're talking about ancestors, people they've found, people that they served with that they haven't seen or spoken to for years, and we're encouraging everyone to share those stories on there and tag the admin even in. So because hopefully we might be able to use those stories down the track. We've got a few ideas up our sleeves. We got asked just this week what was going to happen after Anzac Day. Well, hopefully this is going to continue. We'll get everyone up to the normal memorial services again, hopefully after this year as well. So we would never discourage that. But, there's many other things we can do and many other events that we can all get together on as well.
Not everybody can actually go to an Anzac Day event when the world is normal. So
that's right.
this now gives people another option. And, you know, I'm sure that the madness of this month will calm down for, you know, another 11, but then it'll ramp up again. And that's fine. It's, you know, it is a great way for people to, you know, share their stories and just put them out there and remember things. And we've been doing live feeds like this. So today's is more about sort of housekeeping and how the page works and
Bit of
what
housekeeping, yeah. We've had so much terrific response, so many thank yous, in fact, that we can't possibly share them all. As I said before, there's, you know, 2.5 million posts, so we do our best to get as many as we can up onto the page, but a lot of thank yous are coming through, which we really appreciate, and they're great to see, but we can't post them all up onto the page because it's quite busy as it is. So
no, that's right. But I was going somewhere with that line of thought then. It doesn't matter. We'll come back to that. I will remember where my line of thought was. Oh, invite your friends. That, I think that's where I was heading. Was
absolutely, like there's what did we say? Nearly 210,000 of us on there. If everyone just invites one person or just shares it out, you know, that's 400,000 people on there. Like, that's all you've got to do is invite one person along, and it's always nice to ask them if that's okay first. But yeah, everyone's got to know someone that would be interested.
Any of the posts that you really like, or you can actually just share the group and the page to your own personal pages as well, and that just sort of shows your friends that this is going. Now I've remembered what I was going to say, was that after this Anzac Day, what we've created here is like a living memorial. This is here now. It's in cyberspace. It's not going anywhere. No. And at any time you can go into the group and click on the topics, for example, and click on servicemen, and you will just see photo after photo after photo of proud photographs and family that people have shared that they're proud of. So
just last night, in fact, I added the just over 1,000 we're up to of people that have shared their loved ones in the servicemen and women topic. So, and there's topics for recipes, there's topics for kids activities, so it's up the top of your page on the right hand side. Everyone's got different devices, but on a computer it's normally up and to the right hand side, and you just click on topics, and there's lots of different topics, and that's sort of sorted it all for you so that you can look at what you particularly want to look at instead of scrolling all the way through the news feed. And there's also the search feature. So if you're looking for a particular name, or you want to look for something that you've posted previously, you can go into the search feature and just type in a word. So if I was looking at posts that I've put up, I would just type in Anita Tressiter, and it'll bring up all the posts that I've posted onto the group. So the search feature, because there's so much information on there, the search feature is a really great way to track what you're looking for.
Excellent. Now, I've just, whilst you were speaking, I glanced at some of the comments that have been coming up, and of course, any news on the app. Now, I know we agreed not to mention the app, so I'm not going to mention it, but what I'm going to say is go to the group, find the scheduled live feeds for the next couple of days, and click on get a reminder, because then about 5 minutes before we go live, you will get a reminder, and there are some very interesting live feeds coming up for the rest of the week. So every time we schedule a live feed, click on the reminder, and that way you will know what's happening with the app that we're not talking about today. But today we are talking about to talk about. Shall I put them up? Here's the information.
What have we got first?
Okay, so we have got on my little
competition.
We have the photo competition happening.
Okay, so what you can see on the screen now, they're just some examples of what's available. One of those is up for grabs. So all we're asking for is for people to post a picture. It needs to be from this year, really. We want something, we're looking for some creativity. So as you can see there was a tattoo. Look at that cake. That cake was amazing, and she's actually put a video of that up too, and it turns around and you can see the landslide on the other side of it and the lone pine on the top, and there's a soldier on it. So that's really amazing as well. So there's been a few really cool entries. So please put your entries forward, and remember to put hashtag Anzac Day 2020 on the actual photo or the video if you're that clever and you want to do it digitally. But I just tell people, like, I've got an example here. You can...
Your example's in there. I popped it in the...
okay, yes it is. But it can just be a simple, just plain piece of paper. It doesn't have to have a picture on it, but it just verifies to us that it is from Anzac Day 2020, because who knows, next year we might have Anzac Day 2021, and we'll want some fresh photos for our
competition. Here's the girl's tat, because we couldn't see it before the word. This lady made a cake.
That cake, it was amazing.
Yep, and then so the kid, and then collages. There's some craft stuff that's tagged. Oh, I did.
And then back to the fire pits.
Yeah. So, okay. And then this one was another great photo collage that was supplied to us.
So you best to post the picture up onto the page as a normal post, and type in hashtag Anzac Day 2020, and that's how it helps us to find it, because we just search on that hashtag and it'll bring up everything that's been hashtagged. And if your photo's in there and it's got hashtag Anzac Day 2020 written on it, then it goes into our competition. And on the 20th will be when the competition closes. And on Anzac Day, after it closes, then the admins will choose one winner each, and those 7 people will go up for public vote, and we'll announce that on Anzac Day after the dawn service sometime, after a few of us have recovered.
Now, for the competition, for us to actually use those photographs, they need to put, I give permission for you to use my photo, don't they? Do they need to actually write that, or is that implied because they've...
Well, it's implied because they've sent it in for the competition. But on that subject, though, I've been spamming our page as well and trying to get people to give me permission to use some of their beautiful old photography so that we can use it for our artwork and things like that, because we are administrators of the page, but we're not spending any money and we don't charge anything, and it's all volunteer. So anything that we can get for free, like photography to do graphic work, is amazing, because we don't want to have to spend money, because that would, of course, come out of our personal funds. So, and I think we're all putting in enough hours, but which no one's complaining about, because we're loving doing it. I know personally I've learnt so much, but anyway, we're getting off track, and I'm talking.
Yeah, well, you're sort of on track, because I'm thinking sort of we did have a little agenda of the direction we were going to do things. But speaking of posting and whatever, there are a couple of things that we do want to ask, and that is that you're always respectful, because we will delete posts that aren't respectful. We will delete posts that have swearing in them, and there's, like you said, there's like 1 million posts come and comments come through. So we don't...
2.5 million.
Yeah, so we don't go into every single one of them and send you a little apology going, look, I'm really sorry, we're going to delete your post. We literally just delete it. Okay,
so just simply, there's just not enough time. We're doing our best. There's things that we do miss. People do get upset about it and will have a little whinge, but that's pointless. We don't have time for that either. What we need them to do is report the post. It comes straight to us. We can go straight to the post. We don't have to look for it, and we can deal with it. Majority of the time it gets deleted. Sometimes we think, well, it's not that. So it's just a personal choice. We're all humans. We've all got lives. But if you can help us find that post by reporting it, then that's so much easier. But don't continue to whinge on the feed, because it doesn't help us, and it just upsets other people. So there's no need for it.
Once if you do see something that you don't like or that you think is disrespectful, there is a chance that we've just missed it because we don't get to see every single comment.
That's right. It's impossible.
Just using the 3 little dots at the top, just report the post, because then we are completely notified of it, and we can actually have a look at the entire thread relevant to that, to the reported post, and then make a decision. So please report anything that you find disrespectful or has swearing and things in it.
In the last 3.5 weeks, I don't think I've ever read so much in my entire life.
What's going? What are you reading in ISO? It's like, yeah, well, I'm not reading a book.
Yeah.
Okay, now we also currently have another competition, and I'm going to put here's the link to the competition up there. Okay, now this competition, these 27 people have already submitted their tattoos, so we're not taking any more entrants. No. But what we are doing is, if you follow this link, you can go and vote on these tattoos. And here is what the tattoos look like. So this is the post that you will find, or the poster, and these are the tattoos that are in it. Now, the way the tattoo competition works is we've created a poll. And so you actually it has the 27 numbers and names, and then a tiny little picture of the tattoos. So you do have to actually go in and open up all the pictures to find the tattoo. But that's why we've done this, so that you can actually just see all the tattoos. And if there's one here that you go, that's the one I want to vote for, then go through and have a look. Now, when you go to the poll, it keeps rearranging the numbers. Okay, it rearranges depending on which one has the most votes. So don't just go to the top 3, which is what you will see on your screen, and go, yep, beautiful. Actually look for the one you like the best, because there are 27 amazing tattoos in that competition.
There's some beauties. There's some beauties. When we started the page, people just started posting their memorial tattoos off their own accord, and we were just like, and I'm not a tattoo person, but I mean, look at the one on the screen coming up right now. Some of them are just so amazing, and people are very passionate about it. So we thought we're going to have a tattoo competition. So there we are.
Some of them are like full backs, like there's entire backs there, which is just amazing. And I mean, for me, my favorite is actually probably the most simple one in the comp, because it's straight there, where these are amazing. A lot of detail. But yeah, I like the really simple one that is this one, I think, is the one I like. There's this one and another one that is very simple like that sort of got my
red in the poppy on that one.
I know, they're amazing.
I'm going to give away my favourite, but I've already contacted the girl. I don't know her personally, but when she had the on her chest.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, the medals. Here she is. She's come up now. Have a look at that one.
Yeah, that's extraordinary, isn't it?
And when you have a close look at that, it's like 3D. The tattoo artist has done that in 3D. It's totally amazing. Wow.
So go in, follow the link. So the link is here in the comments. So go in and go in and vote for your favorite one, because like I said, there's 27 entrants in that competition, and all the details are within the post that this links to.
And again, that one's closed, and the winner for that one will be officially announced on Anzac morning as well.
Yeah, but the voting isn't closed, so you can go in and vote for a few more days yet.
Yes, the voting's still open. Sorry, but we're not taking any more tattoos.
Yep. No,
What else
that's
have we got for our viewers today?
well, if you let me find the link, there is we have made a ruling on our page that we're not oops, that's not the one I want, that we're not advertising as such. Now, why aren't we advertising, and what's this link about?
Well, we can't allow advertising simply because, firstly, there's been so many businesses that want to advertise. We're out there, we're working. I know myself, I don't know what you're doing, but I'm doing about probably 80 hours a week. Lots of stuff behind the scenes, but we can't just allow advertising on there. But what we have done, we've teamed up with Soldier On, who provide a wonderful service to the returned service men and women and their families. There's a lot more about them if they want to go to Soldier On Australia on their Facebook or on their website. I think it's soldieronaustralia.com.au or just Soldier On. I should have looked that up, shouldn't I? But anyway, you can just Google Soldier On, and there's information in there and the service that they provide to the returned servicemen. They're amazing. So we've amalgamated with them, and anyone that advertises, they're signed to advertise with us. We don't make any money out of it, but there is a percentage of their sales will go towards Soldier On and what they provide to our community.
So we have put, you can see the posters now coming through. And so anyone that is an official affiliate, these are what you will see. You will see posters like
that one
this.
There, the watercolour there with the poppies. When she posted that originally, she had so much attention. Everyone wanted to purchase one of those. So she's kindly donating back to Soldier On.
Yeah, and that's pretty much the case. And a bit like the be respectful thing, if you put a picture up and people sort of go, geez, I really like that candle or whatever, don't ask where they got it, okay, because they're the posts that we're going to delete. Okay, we're happy to have affiliates on there, but we're not going to leave posts on and let people buy. And that really came about because of the flags, didn't it?
The flags. Everyone likes a nice flag, but there's rules you've got to stick by. You shouldn't just be flying any flag any way that you want. You can go on to the amw.gov.au page, and there's probably some instructions on there, which I was going to bring up again later about the wearing of medals as well. So, but we don't want any arguments about flags and medals on the pages. That just takes up time for us. We don't want to have to admin that. So there are pages you can go to, guide people to them, be respectful, and just say, why don't you check out AMW, the awm.gov.au. Get it right, Anita. If they go there, they can check out all that stuff there. They don't have to argue about it on the page. It just makes so much more work for us. So that's my little advice for you guys there.
There's actually a lot of information on that page. There is information, because I saw one of the arguments on the page earlier this week was why rosemary and why poppies and whatever. But when you actually go to the AMW page, the Australian War Memorial page, there's whole information lots on why poppies are acceptable and what the history of them, and that's so right. The purple as well as the red. There's also the rosemary. Yes, we put rosemary with Remembrance Day, but it's also appropriate for Anzac Day. And a smaller one that I didn't know till I actually went looking was wattle is also an acceptable tribute for Anzac Day as well. So
we've all learned a lot these last few weeks.
100%. So yeah, there's a lot of info on there, and there's even official Anzac Day cookie recipes on that page. So you will find all that fun stuff or that interesting stuff, as well as like the serious protocols of where to wear your poppy, where to wear the medals, where to get the medals from, what's acceptable, uniforms, hats, you know, whether it's folded, like there's all that stuff on that website. So you know what,
it's not for us to say what's right or wrong. We're the admins that admin the page, so we can't be telling you what's right and what's wrong. Go just Google it. It's even if you Google it, it'll take you to Wikipedia. Wikipedia has the answer. So if all else fails, Google, people, but please don't argue on the page.
Yeah, go to that page and have a look, but go to Aussies and Kiwis for Anzac's page and group and like them and follow them, and mark yourself going to the events. And if you get a chance, check out the live streams that are already set for broadcast. So there is a notification of them there. And so tomorrow night I'm talking to Justin. So he's the founder. He's the guy that sort of I made that call to a month ago, and I haven't sat down and done my own stuff really since, which is fine. I know there's 7 of us that have done exactly the same thing. And so we're talking to him tomorrow. He's got some exciting news for us. We did an interview yesterday with OJ about the choir mashup. So that video is on our page and YouTube and things. So you've still got till tomorrow, I think, to do that one. So get your videos in for the mashup. And all the instructions are on yesterday's live feed. The day before, on Easter Monday, I actually spoke to a guy, Brian Williams, who wrote a book based on a handful of papers that he found in his garage when he was 12. That when you hear his story, that just blew me away. I knew about the papers. I knew he'd found them and that he'd written a book, but until I actually interviewed him, I had no idea of just how life-changing that was, and the part in history that it played. So amazing stories. I was listening last night to OJ's interview with her mum about the war, and just the stories out there are amazing. So
I just had the lady contact me this morning whose grandmother had a part in, if not wrote, the ode. I can't recall her name off the top of my head, but I asked her to please rewrite the story and share it to our page. So
you know, I have to fill the live feeds for another 10 days, or another 9 days. So yeah, that may be one worth chasing up. So if that lady's listening, I would like to talk to you.
Yes, well, hopefully she'll post to the page again, and
we'll be able to
do that. But yeah, she was going to find out some more information as well.
Wow. And you know what? You don't have to be interviewed here for us to hear your stories. You can, you know, just do your turn your camera on and video your story yourself and pop it up on the page, because that would also be a great way to get those stories happening. Talking to OJ last night, one thing that we saw, and with Brian, was that, you know, like my granddad went to Gallipoli. He was an ambulance officer, so he didn't storm the beach, but he was in the follow-on. Well, when he got home, he spoke about nothing. He talked to nobody.
Very common.
That's right. So any stories that he had are gone. And, you know, I was only 7 when he died. So it was a missed opportunity, basically, because, you know, it's not there. So if you do have the opportunity to share your stories, then the Aussies and Kiwis for Anzac page has given you an amazing opportunity to get those stories out there, whether you write them down and post them or do a little live video and post them. That would be great. And the story I've got on Friday excites me because I remember it happening sort of 2 years ago. And, you know, I live in semi-rural area, about an hour and a half out of Sydney, and there's a smaller suburb like next door to where I am, where I used to live, and one of the girls there wrote an essay, and next thing you know, she's in Belgium and London and whatever as an Anzac ambassador, and she's just the most beautiful girl, from the heart way, just absolutely beautiful. Like her passion and everything for the Anzacs is amazing. And I sort of was having a bit of a chat to her yesterday, getting ready for Friday, and she's 17. She's not even an adult yet, but what she has already learnt and whatever is just amazing. So I'm going to talk to her on our live on Friday. So I'm really excited about that one.
On that topic too, just some of the kids, what they've been sharing on the page as well, some of the wreaths that they've been making and the paintings they've been doing, and some of those things, that the lanterns that are being made, like amazing, the letterboxes that are being decorated, the paintings on the front of people's houses. Like, there's some really amazing stuff happening out there. But I guess very importantly, what we need to do is get people out on their front lawn,
on their driveways. At what time?
In their driveway. And head on out there at 5:55, and at 6 o'clock you can tune into ABC National, or you might be able to listen to it on a device if someone was to bring out an app, say.
Tomorrow. We'll talk about that one tomorrow. And we'll talk about that one tomorrow. But thank you for joining me tonight. And see, you did fine. She was really, really nervous before.
I was very nervous. I'm still quite nervous. Hands are clammy, and I may have a beverage waiting for me when I've finished, and probably 15 emails where Justin will have a heap more graphic design for me to do. But
I think I've covered everything that was on our list.
I think it was more than I expected. It was wonderful. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining me. And do you know what? Anita did the intro video, so I'm actually going to play that again as we leave. So until tomorrow night, see you later. And don't forget to like the page, set your reminder, all those things we've already talked about. Thank you.
Cheers, guys. Bye. We did it. Hopefully we're not. Can you hear me?